As a professional gamer, I've always had an appreciation for details and secrets in games. Even if it's something as mundane as an unused area in a prefabricated building carried over from another game, it's always piqued my interest. But what I love is when the devs anticipate the player using their toolkit to explore what they've created. Like this coin pile in Super Mario Odyssey. The devs made a big building here, and while the player is intended to go in the opposite direction away from it, there are those who will turn around and see it and say, hey, I wonder what's up there. And then they'll do some cool shit to get up there. Most of the time you'd find nothing at all and just have the personal satisfaction of having gotten up here. But some devs will put a pile of coins here, not just as a reward, but I feel as a thank you. It's like you're having a little conversation with the devs. Thank you for taking the time to appreciate our work. Or the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. There's like 900 of them in the game, and it's basically pointless to collect all of them, but they're there to reward you for taking the time to appreciate the world the devs made as you go along. Hey, I'm going to use the climbing mechanic in this game to climb up this big ass tree just for the hell of it. Oh wow, the devs put a Korok seed here. They appreciate my curiosity and engagement with their world. That's nice. As a gamer who loves exploring, I really anticipated Nightrein's new wall climbing mechanic, which enables the player to access all sorts of places. Combined with other forms of locomotion like spiritsprings and the spectral hawks, the player can get to a lot of places which would otherwise be inaccessible. And I love that the devs anticipated this too. Hi everyone, my name's Diabetor, and today we're going to do something a bit different and look at minor, inconsequential secrets in Elden Ring Nightreign just to appreciate the game a bit better. Special thanks to the Story of Us in a Bus and Minicake for joining my channel as members. If you want to see your name glorified in the Hall of Insulin and get some special perks, then consider joining my channel too. One of the first secrets I noticed like this was the one over here on top of the storm gate on the west side of the map. There's a corpse here with an item, and you can't access it from going into the bridge, so you need to take the spirit stream nearby, and you can jump on top of the storm gate and get to the corpse. Now, again, these are like minor inconsequential secrets because like this guy only drops like uncommon loot, like it's nothing amazing. I bet he can drop up to rares, but you know, it's not, you're not going to get like amazing loot from this, you know, but it's nice that it's there for someone who's exploring. You feel me? I appreciate that they put it there. It's nice. There's a similar kind of thing in each of the ruins. So there's these towers here, and if you're a little creative, you can climb up them, and there's a corpse that you can loot for them. I didn't notice these when I made my original video about the talisman cellar in the ruins, but I noticed this since then, and, you know, it's a nice little reward for saying, hey, I wonder if there's something at the top of this tower. Now, I suck at climbing them, so I'm going to speed the footage up here. And now it definitely didn't take me like a whole minute to get up here, which I cut out, but like you see this one, it drops a rare, so it doesn't always drop a rare because I've looted this a few times, but it can. So is it like practical gameplay wise, is it worth the time and effort to climb up there? Probably not. And also, you see here, it depends on the type of ruin. So even though these two ruins have what I call the S shape, the Blood Ruin and the Deathblight Ruin, the Deathblight Ruin has the corpse in a different tower. So, you know, there's a little variation for you to go, you know, look around for. You know, it's a nice little thing that the devs put in there for the curious players, you know? Here's another thing that I like, which isn't necessarily loot related, but is instead like map geometry related. So here in the church, for example, this is a fire church. There's the scaffolding here, which can take you up to where that chest is, or there's a scaffolding over here, which takes you around and then up over here to where this little brazier is with a couple guys and a corpse to loot. So, you know, those are really obvious ways to climb up this, and that's the way I usually like to climb up these things. But if you're observant and you look a little more closely, you'll see that there's like a shortcut here, which you can use to get up onto the right side of the church over here. So for the churches that have like a seal box up in the rafters there, that's a really good shortcut that you can take to get up there. Or depending on the angle that you're coming at the church from, there's all these pillars and stuff that you can climb up from a lower level. And gameplay-wise, this actually is kind of practical because instead of having to run past any enemies that are down there or whatever, you can just come at the church from the side and climb straight up to where you want to go to get, like, you know, a seal or the stone sword key from the chest or something like that, right? And another thing I really appreciate is that you can see with these different types of points of interest, like the ruins, the churches, the forts, but the different categories of points of interest, you can see how they were experimenting with different types of design, like ideas and stuff like that. Because that's the entire point of Nightreign. It's like a side project that's made by the B team, where that Fromsoftware can explore all different sorts of, like new game mechanics. Like, hey, what if we give the player the ability to climb up the walls? What if we put the player on a time limit? What if we do this? And so like the ruins, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of secrets to find here between the cellars and the hidden cellar and the corpses and the towers. For the churches, there's a lot of experimenting with things like, how does the climbing affect gameplay and exploration and combat, because there's enemies on different levels and stuff like that. With the forts, it's like, how do these different game mechanics that we've added, like climbing and stuff like that, how do those intersect with a location that has a single point of entry, And then what can we do with that from there? How can we add secrets and other shit for players to find? So like the simple secret is one where you just climb straight up, like this tower where you can just climb up the wall and then get up to it, and there's a little chest there. It's like, hey, nice job, you explored. But then there's something like this where on this bigger tower, there's 2 corpses here that have loot on them, but there's no way to get into this tower from inside the fort. So it's like a situational interaction type of thing where you need something like a spectral hawk or a spirit stream to be able to get to this. So not only are the devs rewarding you for being curious, they're also experimenting with how mechanics from different parts of the game, such as the points of interest versus the preset spirit streams or spectral hawks or whatever, they're seeing how those intersect and interact with each other and what kind of cool things they can do with that. And that's neat, I like seeing that kind of experimentation in game design and stuff like that. It's cool to see that. I like it. In addition to the really inconsequential random stuff, like, getting some uncommons from a corpse in a tower or something, I also like how they experimented with giving you access to more unique and significant loot. For example, there's this shack over here in the northwest corner of the map. I've talked about it a couple times. The corpse on top of it has a chance of dropping crystal tears. And depending on the one that you get, that can be a significant enhancement to your power. If you get something like a Flame Shrouding Tear as Revenant, or a Magic Shrouding Tear as a Recluse or something, like this can just really enhance your game. And of course, you can't talk about secrets in Nightreign without mentioning the Vault, which requires an item that has like a 1 in 1,000 chance to drop. That's called a Cord End that you can only get from certain locations. And you can open this vault and it takes you down here where this item drops 3 sacrificial twigs. And there's a little statue there so that, lore YouTubers can talk about, speculation bait, even though it has no actual significance in any kind of lore. I hope you appreciated this video in the way that I appreciated Elden Ring Nightreign and the minor secrets and details and stuff that they put into it. If you liked this video, please leave a like, share the video, consider subscribing, or joining my channel as a member. My name is Diabedor, and I will catch you later.